Hey everybody, Qroo here. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to translate sentences like, if you ever, that's how they're going to start, visit Mexico, do this, or you should do this. We're going to be giving you several things for your Spanish toolbox today. When I just hit record, I was like, I'm just going to start with the if you ever, but right now I'm like, I think we can do more with this. But before we get into it, I just want to tell folks that I'm on Spotify now. It's the same content that you find here on YouTube, but if you like that platform, maybe, you want to listen to my lessons while you're driving to work, it's easier there. I think you have a playlist, and if you have the premium, there's no ads. I'll put a link to it in the description section of this video, but you can just look for it. It has the exact same name as the YouTube channel, Spanish with Qroo. All right, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. We're going to start with a fantastic sentence starter. If you ever, we're going to use three words for that. Si alguna vez. Si alguna vez. And there's no you in there yet, but that's how we're going to start our sentence, okay? Then we're going to follow it with a verb, generally in the present tense. And of course, we can speak in the informal, the do form, which is what we're going to be doing in this video today, just keeping things simple. But you could also do it in the usted form. So I could come up with something like, if you ever visit Mexico. Si alguna vez visitas Mexico. If you ever visit Mexico. And then we're going to put some advice on the end, which we're going to talk about. If you've been taking my Spanish Master course, which is available over in my school group, you can piece sentences together, create sentences early on using, quieres, do you want? Like, do you want to go to the beach, right? Quieres ir a la playa. Well, you can just pop that in after this. If you ever want to go to the beach, put that together. This is interactive, folks. You should be speaking out loud. Si alguna vez quieres ir a la playa. See? It's a great sentence starter. But we need something. We need something easy, something generic, something that's not going to take a lot of thought, right? What would it be? How about this? Let me know. That works for English, doesn't it? If you ever want to go to the beach, let me know. So the let me know part, there's a couple different ways we can say that in Spanish. A very simple way is with the Spanish verb avisar, which means to advise, and not to give advice, to advise as in to notify. So it's like saying, advise me, notify me, okay? And we're going to put it in the imperative, the command form. Don't let the grammatical terms scare you, folks. I throw them out there a lot so you can look things up and learn more about that aspect. Avísame. That's it. Avísame. And you're just going to pop it on the end, right? If you ever want to go to the beach, let me know. Pop it all together. Go ahead. Si alguna vez quieres ir a la playa, avísame. This is perfect, right? This is nice. Try this one. If you ever want to practice Spanish, let me know. Si alguna vez quieres practicar español, avísame. Just popping these things together. How about this? If you ever want to visit me, let me know. Si alguna vez quieres visitarme, avísame. That's it. Man, piece of cake. Now, if you are up on the imperative form, the command form, you can play with it with other sentences like give advice. If you ever drive in Mexico, be careful. Okay. Do you want to try that one? Maybe that's too advanced for you. Maybe it's not. Si alguna vez conduces en México, or maybe you had manejas en México, ten cuidado, ten cuidado. Tener cuidado is the whole expression, means to be careful, but when you're telling somebody to be careful, ten cuidado, and that is in the to form. That's something else for your Spanish toolbox. You see, I don't want you to just sound like a parrot, so I'm not giving you whole sentences to memorize. That'd be very difficult. But by learning Spanish in phrases like this, you can create your own sentences. And in many cases, they're sentences you've never seen or heard before in Spanish, but they'll be correct. All right, let me give you something else for your Spanish toolbox that may come up when you're using this, because you do give advice, right? And maybe you don't want to just say the command form. Maybe you just want to be like, you should. Like, if you ever visit Mexico, you should swim with the turtles in Akumal. Akumal is a little town where I lived for 6 years. It's just south, about 25 minutes south of Playa del Carmen over in the Caribbean. And the name of the town, Akumal, means place of the turtles in Maya. And that's because there's turtles, sea turtles, like everywhere. All right. So that's where the reference came from on this. The important thing here is, let's back it up. If you ever visit Mexico, you should swim with the turtles in Akumal. That should. What are we doing with that? try to translate. You want to try to translate it? It's a long one. I was debating if I had enough time to get more coffee. I don't think I do. Si alguna vez visitas México, deberías nadar con las tortugas en Akumal. I almost forgot what I was going to say there. See, that's why we don't think of whole sentences in our head. We just kind of put them together. The important thing there is I use the verb deber, and I'm using it in the conditional tense. Deberías, as in the you should. That is a really safe way to make recommendations, like nicely. Not saying you must do it or you have to do it, but you should. You know, it's a nice recommendation. Conditional tense is perfect for that. So that might be something else for your Spanish toolbox. Now, in my own journey to learn Spanish, I found that it was easiest for me to use and remember things on the Spanish side if it was similar to how I speak English. And, you know, when I say, if you ever, I tend to say things like, if you ever have the chance to do something, if you ever have the opportunity to do something, if you ever get the opportunity to do something. So that might be something, if you do the same, that would be good to use with this, right? It's going to start the same way. Si alguna vez, you know, if you ever. And in Spanish, get the opportunity, get the chance, that kind of thing is going to be tener la oportunidad de plus infinitive. And of course, we have to conjugate that verb. We're in the informal, the tú form, so we're going to say tienes. So if I want to change it to, hey, if you ever get the opportunity to visit Mexico, if you ever get the chance to visit Mexico, si alguna vez tienes la oportunidad de visitar México. Boy, that was nice and long, right? Gave you some time to think about the rest of the sentence. Now, you could give a bunch of advice in the rest of the sentence, or you could just keep it simple and just say, do it. So do it is hazlo, hazlo. Pretty easy, right? How about this? If you ever get the chance to, what should we have? Ride horses, montar a caballo, right? Horseback ride. Let's use that one, montar a caballo. So I just taught you horseback riding is montar a caballo. You can pop it in here. If you ever get the chance to, you know, ride a horse, do horseback riding, do it. Let's put that all together. I know you're already like, okay, all right. Don't come up with a whole sentence, start saying it. And you can pause. Sorry, you're like, be quiet. You ready? Si alguna vez tienes la oportunidad de montar a caballo, hazlo, hazlo. Pretty good, right? What if you tell somebody don't do it? No lo hagas, no lo hagas. See, that's back to our imperatives, our command forms. The forms change if we're talking about an affirmative command or a negative command. So do it, hazlo. Don't do it, no lo hagas, no lo hagas. What would fit well there? If you ever get the chance to try chicha, don't do it. Chicha is one of those fermented alcohols that, you know, that is made from the folks, they're chewing everything and then they're spitting it into this thing and it ferments and they, no, don't do it, all right? So, si alguna vez tienes la oportunidad de probar chicha, la chicha, no lo hagas. No, no lo hagas. All right, so that's the end of the video. I gave you tons of things for your Spanish toolbox to play with, things you can pop together, you know, and make your own sentences. But if you don't practice, you are not going to remember these things, okay? So you've got to practice. Talk out loud to yourself. If you're not sure how to say something, go and look it up, okay? That's the best way to learn, anyway. Well, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And until next time, hasta luego.